hey guys, really excited to share something with you guys about how I'm using leveraging webinars to drive leads and sales and opportunity within our agency. And I thought, since I just completed my webinar, and I'm going to be doing some more training for you guys on how to leverage these same webinars in your agency, it would be a prime time just to let you look over my shoulder. I'm going to record my screen, walk you through kind of what my process is after the webinar is complete, to really help you get the most bang for your buck on that particular front. So let me share my screen and I'll kind of walk this through with you. So leveraging webinars to drive leads. So I just want to kind of paint the picture one more time on why webinars are so valuable. So again, as you're coming through this process, and some of you guys are in different places, right? Some of you guys have established webinars that are just killing it. Others of you are just getting started and starting to develop your list. This is going to apply to all of you, maybe the ones that are a little further along a little bit more, but ultimately the idea is to have a database with prospects in your niche, right? And you've got them in Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign or whatever system it happens to be, and either they opt in for your lead magnet or you sent them a direct reach out requesting for permission to send them your lead magnet. Maybe you recorded your keynote presentation like like I taught you to do in module 3, and then you invited them to that, and then it kind of stops there, right? What do you do next? You have them in your follow-up sequence and you drop 16, 17 emails on them, but the fact is more than 99% of the people that you add to the top of that funnel don't buy, right? So, but we know they're in your niche. We know they're probably an ideal prospect, and so we just need to remain top of mind with them long enough that they finally get to the place where they're like, okay, yeah, this guy or gal is giving me so much great information. They understand this space so well that I should do business with them. And so that's where this comes into play. It gives you the ability to remain top of mind. So first of all, it gives you a reason to email your list with an offer multiple times. So you're inviting them to the webinar, right? And I'm going to show you how to send a couple emails in a non-obtrusive way to let them know, hey, I've got a really interesting webinar that you're going to want to be on. The reminder before the webinar starts. So, okay, webinar starting, you got to jump in. And of course, the replay after the webinar. So I want you to think about this in the absence of using this type of strategy, right? You've got your list. You built it out. You've got 100, 200, 900, however many. I've got like about 20,000 plumbing companies in my database now. But if you don't have something to send them, you've just got a list and it's laying dormant, right? This gives you, again, that reason to come to them. Hey, you know what? I've got a webinar coming up on whatever. And so I've got some topics for you. I've got some pre-thought out things. But as you get good at this, you can come up with whatever's relevant and whatever's cool. Like a couple months ago, Google Home Service ads rolled out. And I decided, hey, that would be interesting to do a webinar on that particular topic. And it was very popular. I want to say thanks to Lynn Atkins for the idea, hey, why don't you do one on Google Home Services? But there's going to be topically relevant things that come out on a consistent basis. And as you get good about this, you send emails, hey, this is something interesting that's happening that will impact your whatever niche you focus on. And I'm going to do a quick webinar on how to take advantage of it, right? And so this is like a major content lever for you because it gives you the ability to remain top of mind. And then, of course, it does create those multiple streams of content for you. You've got the live webinar, right? You're going to show up. You're going to present your thing. You've got the YouTube with recording of the webinar that you're going to upload to. Probably also have it on Facebook as well. You've got the bonus of if you did it at like a 30-minute webinar on Google Maps or on how to optimize for search or whatever it is that you did it on, you can then slice it up, as I kind of have showed you guys again and again. You slice it up, and now you've got 4 or 5 really cool videos for every webinar that you did. You've got a blog post on your website with the replay of the webinar, probably the embedded video file and maybe some webinar notes and or a full transcription of the webinar. You've got the audio from the webinar, which you can then upload as a podcast, and again, the transcript. And then you can take the slides from the webinar and upload them onto SlideShare. And so now you've taken one webinar and you've created multiple streams of value for yourself as a company and for your prospects, as well as the ability then to leverage social media to drive the registration, drive the replay. So you start to become omnipresent in your list's mind and in your industry because you're putting out good, relevant information on an ongoing basis. So, I mean, I am developing a library of pre-made webinars for you guys. So the topic is already thought through, the slides are already done, the emails leading up to the webinar and after the webinar to get them to watch are all written up. And so right now what you have access to already in the members area is the Year 2018 Internet Marketing Plan, how to optimize your website for conversion, whatever industry you serve, the new SEO formula or new SEO strategy, the Google Maps blueprint, how to accelerate your lead flow with PPC, and I'm going to be adding new ones on an ongoing basis. And what's neat is you can just take this, swipe it, deploy it, and roll it out. And it's not just a one-time iteration because everybody wants the latest. Internet Marketing Plan, what's new 2018 versus last year? Website conversion, what's new? So what I do is I just make a couple tweaks, but I call it the 2018 version, and there's a reason for me to roll it out again. So once you've got 7 to 12 core webinars, you can just roll them out again and again every single year. Of course, you're tweaking a couple things, you're improving it, but it's just as interesting to them as it was the previous year because everybody wants to be on the cutting edge and stay in the know. So these are resources as a part of this membership, not just the strategy, which is key, but also the tools to go out and execute. And I'll be working on making it more and more simple for you to iterate and kind of leverage this content. So brief overview of our setup. We run our webinars on Zoom meetings. It doesn't matter if you use Every Webinar or Webinar Jam or GoToMeeting. Just you need something where you can go and do your live webinar. We have our opt-in funnel all in ClickFunnels. So we set up a little mini campaign in ClickFunnels. There's a registration page, which is synced in to Infusionsoft through PlusThis. A thank you page, which is really important. I've talked about this before. One of the most captive moments that you have that prospect is the moment after they register for something. So whether it's one of your cheat sheets, your guides, your opt-in funnels, or a webinar, you want that webinar to take them straight to the offer through the strategy session. I missed opportunity on this for years because I would say, register for the webinar, and the thank you page would be, hey, you're confirmed, go check your email. So right now, you've got their captive attention. The best thing to do is to have an autoplay video right there. Hey, you're registered for the webinar. I'm going to share some great insights on how to optimize your plumbing or HVAC website to convert at the highest level possible. But if you're like most plumbing and HVAC business owners, you probably want to understand best practices, but you're always looking for the right partner or the right person that can help implement best practices and do this stuff for you. So if that's you and you really just want to jump to the chase, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to sit down one-on-one. I'll look at your company website. I'll kind of give you my 2 cents, explain how we might be able to work together and see how we can really help you maximize your lead flow online. So if that's you and you're interested in scheduling a time after the webinar, I tend to get bombarded. My schedule gets filled up. You can schedule a time right now. Just click the button below. It'll take you to my calendar, and we'll get it on the schedule. So thanks so much for registering. I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. And, schedule a time now. So that right there justifies any promotion you do for the webinar. We know not everybody shows up. Actually, like 30 or 40% of the people that register are going to show up. That's not that important. But for those people that do register, you take them straight to that thank you page, you're going to get scheduled strategy sessions. So that's a great bonus. And then the replay page. And so another thing we do with our replay, and I'm going to do this now, you guys are going to watch me do this, is I put my replay, on the page. It's right inside ClickFunnels, and then below it, it's an offer for a strategy session. So they're watching the replay, getting the value, but then it's saying, look, to schedule a time, here's the reasons you want to schedule a time with us today. So, those are 3 powerful ways that we set up our webinars. Promotion for the webinar, we use Infusionsoft and Facebook ads. It's basically email marketing and Facebook ads. Whether you're using ActiveCampaign or Agile CRM, obviously you need a way to email people and say, hey, I've got a webinar coming up. So I'm usually sending somewhere between 5 and 6 emails prior to the webinar. Hey, I've got a webinar coming up on this date. Hey, this is why this topic is important. Hey, here's some examples of this executed in an effective way. And then webinars tomorrow, don't miss it. And, starting now. So you want to get a couple emails to penetrate their minds and actually get their attention to register. We've also been using with quite a good effect Facebook promotion, and so we uploaded our prospect list as well as our retargeting list to Facebook, and so now they're getting the email, they're seeing Facebook ads about the webinar and boosted content about the reasons to attend the webinar. And so now you're getting all of that top of mind awareness outside of email as well. And then the replay, extremely powerful. Usually send about 2 to 3 emails telling them, hey, look, in case you missed it, here's the replay. Hey, if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, at 7 minutes in, I share this killer strategy. You want to go back and watch that. And then, of course, you can promote the replay on Facebook as well. So I hope you're starting to see the big picture of why this is so powerful, right? You're creating great content. You're touching your database in a valuable way. You're creating all of this information that you can then syndicate on YouTube, SlideShare, blogs, iTunes. So step-by-step process, pre-webinar. You got to pick your topic and block it off on your calendar. You've got to set up the webinar on whatever webinar platform you use. GoToWebinar, Zoom meetings, whatever. You've got to sync everything up in Infusionsoft and plus this so that when they do register, it adds it to your list. You know, there's a step there. It's not super simple, but you need to make sure you think that through. Put together the creative for your presentation. For me, on just about all mine, I have a unique slide cover, a background slide, and then a share image. So that's a picture of me with some information about the topic that I can share that on my blog post, on my social media, and when I send my emails, it just looks impressive. There's a custom graphic about this webinar that I'm going to be doing. And then you need to set up your emails for the promotion on Infusionsoft. I'll tell you in advance, if you think through these emails prior and you come up with your 5 emails and you load them in and then press send on whatever your email distribution system is, it's a lot easier than one-off broadcasting 5 emails one at a time to invite people. I would say for years I did it. It works, but I really love now just setting up in advance. These are the 5 emails I'm going to send once they, to get them to register. These are the confirmation emails I'm going to send once they register. And then I set up a separate campaign for the follow-up after the fact. Set up your Facebook ads and posts promoting registration, and then conduct a webinar. And when you're doing it, and I'll have a little printed checklist for you to help remember this, make sure that you record with ScreenFlow or Camtasia or something like that, because, again, you want to leverage it after. You want to put it up on Facebook. You want to put it up on YouTube. You want to send out the replay. And if you fail to record it, that's a shame, and you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt afterwards. So now what we're going to do is the post-webinar stuff. And I'm going to walk you through it, and then you guys can just watch me do it. And this may either be the most boring or the most interesting thing that I've done in a while in this membership. So you want to edit the record. So you're going to have a raw recording of your keynote presentation. You want to edit it. So there's probably some at the beginning you were talking or you were welcoming people to the webinar, and then at the end maybe you didn't stop the webinar soon enough, or maybe there's some random Q&A at the end. Usually I have to clip the front and the end. I do not spend a lot of time editing my ums and my ahs and my screw-ups. Nobody cares, right? You'd waste more time trying to clean it up than if you just take the end and the beginning, clean it, and then upload it just as it is. I then take the recorded version and I export it to an MP3. I use a software called Amerisoft Video Converter. There's lots of converters out there, so don't get hung up on that. But you do want something that will take your video and can turn it into an audio file for the podcast. I then, of course, upload the replay onto YouTube. I upload the slides onto SlideShare. I upload the audio for the podcast onto Amazon S3. You can use Libsyn. I don't know what. If you've got a podcast, you can host your files anywhere. This just happens to be the way that I set mine up. And then I send it off to Rev with the video file to be transcribed. So I have all of that text that I can either create a special report, I can create a blog post. Then I set up the replay on ClickFunnels, and then I send the replay link via Infusionsoft. So hopefully this is powerful information on how, the strategy of ongoing webinars, the steps to get ready, and now the steps to really leverage it and syndicate it after the fact. And this is probably going to be long, right? I mean, if, you can watch me do it. This is look over the shoulder stuff here. So I'm already to the place where my presentation is complete. I record it. The way I record it is right here. Right here in ScreenFlow. So this is the recording. It went about an hour long, and I already exported it because it takes a while. So once I clip the ends, I go file export, and then I've got my video file that I want to upload. So then I pop over to YouTube and I upload it. I always set a custom thumbnail. Cool tool here that you guys might want to check out. It's called TubeBuddy. Lets you set a custom thumbnail, lets you do all kinds of cool things as you load these video files into YouTube. And so there I've got my video file all queued up. It's already in there. So that's my first step. So I take my video, I edit it, and then I upload it to YouTube. And now I can create my replay page because I want to send an email blast to the database saying, hey, the replay's up. You don't want to miss it. So I do that in ClickFunnels. So I'll just kind of walk you through this. I like ClickFunnels. It's really easy to set up, multiple page things. Works well for me. I'm a fan of it. So I'll just go in here, Plumbing and HVAC SEO 2018 webinars. I tend to duplicate it and then create another version for that particular webinar. That way I don't have to recreate the pages. So this was my opt-in page. This was my confirmation page. And now I've got my replay page. And so I want to look at it, make sure it's congruent, add my video, add my social share image. So I'm going to push edit on here. So this is what I was talking about, right? You want to give them the replay where they're like, okay, cool, I got my replay, I got to see that cool content. But then you also want to make the offer. So I have my sales page for schedule your strategy session now down here. And it goes into lots of reasons why they should meet with us and why it's a valuable use of their time. But we go straight to that with the replay. So a couple things I have to update is 2017. We're now in 2018. Schedule your 2018 Internet Marketing Plan review. Custom tailored keyword list. We're going to run a ranking report. All this stuff is worth a lot to you. And we're going to do it for free. All you got to do is schedule now. You could as easily here just set it up to say we charge whatever. I think Dean was saying he charges somewhere in the 200 range. Gloria is considering like 150. You could do it. You could do it right there in this replay and make this your offer that leads to a pre-qualified prospect. So how to optimize your plumbing or HVAC website for conversion. Discover how to double or triple the leads from your website traffic already hitting. Right. So this is the replay page. So what I need to do now is grab my replay link. And this is ClickFunnels. You can do it on whatever platform you choose. This is just, for me, this is how I do it. It's very easy. I've got a link to my workbook right here. I've tested a couple times making the replay the big box and then the the small box. That way it doesn't seem like this is just an offer where they can actually see the replay. I'm actually going to do that now because I feel like that's more congruent with what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to move this to right there. And then I'm going to delete this. All right, it's just sort of it fits a little bit better. So now I can save this. Preview.
All right, well, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today's webinar.
So this will be the page that I send my traffic to watch the replay. So what I want to make sure is not lost on you is that It's a replay, but it is an offer to schedule a strategy session. That's really the end game that we're after, right? The reason we did the webinar, the reason we sent out the emails is because we want strategy sessions. We want them to sit down with us where we can look at their stuff, show them what's wrong, and get them to sign up. So I'm going to save this. And then I usually create a page and host it on Plumber SEO. That way it's not ClickFunnels dot whatever. It's plumberseo.net conversion 2018, right? So hang with me. I'm just going to log into my WordPress real quick and set that up. So in case you were unaware, we do build on WordPress. ClickFunnels has this little plugin that will pull your pages right out of ClickFunnels and make pages on your domain. So I'll just go add new. Regular page, funnel, check SEO webinars 2018. How to optimize for conversion. And then I want to choose the conversion replay. And then I'll set my slug as conversion. Right, so website conversion 2018, save page. So for any of you guys that we want to see how I have this structured, you can just go to this page.
All right, well, welcome, guys. Thank you so much.
plumberseo.net/website-conversion 2018, right? So that's where I'm going to send my traffic. So now I've got my video up on YouTube. I've got my replay page all set to go. Now I need to get this out to my database. So I'm going to pull this up in Infusionsoft. And whether they registered or not, whether they attended or not, I want them all to see that the webinar replay is available, that it's been done. So I'm going to go into Infusionsoft. Again, don't get hung up on the technology. This is just the platform that I use. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to my campaign builder. And conversion optimization webinar. So this is this was the funnel, right? Invite sequence was all the emails to get them to the webinar. Once they opt in, this is the sequence to set them up on Zoom, as well as remind them, hey, don't forget to show up. And then this is my follow-up. So I want to send a couple emails to say, hey, look, you missed it, but it was amazing. So I'm going to set this to go out right away. I mean, ideally, I would set up a whole funnel for this. I probably will. This is the second email. In the interest of keeping this moving, I'm just going to do a broadcast in this particular case. So I'm going to do email broadcasts. Get started. And I've got a bunch of templates in mind, so I'll just go to I like to go to my previously sent. See, we send a lot of emails through Infusionsoft, and if you do good quality content, people don't mind. People aren't like, oh man, seriously, you're emailing me again? So this is the just in case you missed this part. Here's the replay. I actually want to go all the way back to last year when I sent this email. So the nice thing about Infusionsoft is it keeps a history with all your content, and it's got a nice little WYSIWYG editor where you can pop in and put your stuff. So I'm just trying to get back to maps, SEO formula. I'm almost there. Optimization. Okay, so these were the emails leading up to it. Workshop, workbook, replay is ready. All right, so I'm going to go use this as my draft. Nice when you don't have to rebuild it and you can kind of tap into stuff that already exists. Okay, so now it's loaded up. I'm gonna look at my subject line. The replay is ready. Josh, right? So just kind of keeping it relatively simple. So Josh, just a quick follow-up on this afternoon's webinar, how to optimize your, quick follow-up on yesterday's, because I didn't get it out last night, so I'm going to do yesterday's. Yesterday's webinar, how to optimize your plumbing or HVAC. The webinar was jam-packed and many people could not get onto the live board. This was true. I had 160 plus people register, and Zoom only allows me to get 100. So a little bit of an overstatement, but create some excitement. Plus, we've gotten countless emails from people asking for ways to watch. I have gotten at least 5 emails from people saying, hey, I missed it. Can you send me a replay? Well, your wish is my command. We've been working hard to get the replay posted, and here it is. Here's the link for the replay. So then I can just grab my replay link. I just realized I do want to change something before I post it. So whenever you create a page on ClickFunnels, you always want to look at the SEO and meta stuff. So this has got a share image in case somebody were to share it, or when I post this on social media, and I want it to be congruent with 2018. So I just need to go in here, change my social share image to, let's see. This is where that social graphic comes into play as you tee up your webinars and as you send the replays. This is it right here, add image. So now I know this is my 2018 how to optimize for conversion, right? And then I just want to make sure in my SEO title, Josh Nelson, images, how to optimize your plumbing. Okay, perfect. So now that's right before I send it out. That'll automatically post to both here as well as the WordPress site. So now I've got this ready to roll. I've got my URL. So I can go make sure I got my right link there. Click here to watch the replay. You want to take your internet marketing to the next level. I'm sure it was right for the most plumbing keywords. You're going to want 2018 Internet Marketing Plan Review is exactly what you want. Click here to schedule your review today. So this takes them to the page where they can schedule the strategy session. We hope you're enjoying this powerful replay and look forward to taking your business to the next level in 2018 and beyond. So here's the replay link. So I'm just going to put it in here one more time. And again, these emails are in the members area. So copy paste. Hopefully this is useful to kind of see this stuff get built in real time. So I'm just going to, so now Infusionsoft lets me do like a little preview. So your subject, replay's ready, Josh, and then I'm going to put text, how to optimize your plumbing or HVAC website for maximum conversion, right? So now this is saying what I want it to say. I've got to choose my list. So on Infusionsoft, you tag people, plumber SEO, client, not client. I have this broadcast list that I use. That's everybody tagged as plumbing, HVAC, SEO that I can send to. So I've got that teed up. Always, what I always like to do is send myself a test version just to make sure it looks clean. So I'll do test. JoshPlumberSEO.net. Send. So now it's going to send me my my email. The reason I test it, sometimes the things look a little different than I expect. Little typos that always get through. But at least if I tested it to myself once, I can keep an eye on what's going on. So let's see. This test came in. The replay is ready, Josh. So let's see how it looks. Josh Nelson here with a quick follow-up from yesterday's webinar, how to optimize your plumbing or HVAC website for conversion. The webinar was packed. Here's the replay link. All right, so I want to test that. Does it take me to the page? Does it autoplay? Does everything look okay?
All right, well, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today's webinar. We're talking about how to optimize.
Perfect. All right, so page looks okay. I missed something. See? Always a little something there. And so this is 2017, and that's not congruent. So I'm just going to come down. ClickFunnels again here. I can edit this page real quick. 2018. Again, you can choose to have the year in there or not. I just feel like recency is so valuable. People feel like, okay, this is new stuff. Like he's sharing something new and relevant with me. So that's why I put the 2018 all over the place. All right, so that's good. Go back to my email, test. So both of these links, I'm just looking down here to see those links are both pointed to the same place. This is taking me to the wrong link. So that's why, again, another reason why it's so useful to do these test emails, because you think, hey, it looks good, everything works, but that, despite the fact I pasted the actual link, still had my old link on it. I just want this part of it. Insert link. Okay, perfect. So there's my replay ready to go. I've got my list selected. My email subject makes sense. This little preview, in case you wanted to know, is when it's in the inbox, they can read how to optimize your plumbing retreat. So that's like the little preview piece that they get. So that, how to optimize, that makes sense. I also like to make sure that I've got a description of my image. Otherwise it says like image. So I'm going to say watch the replay. So that's there. Perfect. This is ready to roll, so I can go review and send. It's 8:41 Eastern time. I think that's a good time to send a replay because I'm going to be sending another one probably tomorrow or the next day. So they'll be getting a couple emails on this, so I'll just hit send now. That way I know my database has gotten the replay of the year 2018 Internet Marketing Plan. So that's off to the races. So now we've created our thank you page. We've uploaded it to YouTube. We sent it out to the database. Now what I want to do is take my video file, which is that replay, and I want to convert it to audio file so I can create a podcast episode out of this. Again, just syndicating this content, making sure it's out there in front of everybody. So I use a software called, what the heck is it? Launchpad. Trying to find the software here. There it is, Amerisoft Video Converter. So the way this works is it just takes my video and spits out an audio file for me. So I'm going to go Finder. I got to grab the file that's sitting on my desktop for this. So now I usually just save stuff to my desktop and delete it after it's been uploaded. So this is it, how to optimize your website for conversion. I'm just going to drag this in here. Now it's there. I'm going to export it to my desktop so it's an MP3. Boom. So sometimes I'll add a little clip to the front. You know, hey, wow, discover how plumbing and HVAC companies are increasing their sales. I have that. That would take another 45 minutes to an hour right now. So again, I just want to have you guys see the full circle. It doesn't really matter that much in this particular case. So there, I've got my MP3 being exported to my desktop. And what I'm going to need to do next is upload this to Amazon.com/S3. It's just a media storage system. I know there's other tools to do this. There may actually even be easier ways. This is my way, and I'm just kind of walking you through it. More than anything else to give you the idea, right? So this is the big picture. You do webinars. You get to email people. You get to broadcast. And then this is how you can syndicate it, right? This is how you can fully leverage each one of these pieces of content that you create. So now I'm in S3. I've got a bunch of different buckets. This one is the Plumber SEO podcast, right? So I got all my audio files in here. As soon as this is done exporting, I'm going to load it up in here. So while that's happening, I can go back to my WordPress. So this was the actual Plumber SEO website, and I want to create a new post, right? Because I'm going to create a blog post that has the audio file, that has the video file, that has a brief description of what was covered in the webinar. So I've got some great inbound traction from what I'm doing here. So this is just a post. The way I set up my podcast, I've got a piece of software that I installed called PowerPress. And so what PowerPress does is it gives you a new little section for media files for audio. I paste my audio files here, and there's some setup where it pushes through to iTunes, and it pushes through to Google, the Google version of iTunes, so your podcast gets picked up on all of these different platforms. So it looks like my audio file was exported. Yay! So I can go into S3, upload, add files, how to improve the conversion of your plumbing or HVAC website. So that's the topic I'm using. I'm going to upload that. Upload. The one thing that's important, when uploading to S3 is you have to make sure the file is set to public. I've had a couple times where I upload it and it just doesn't stay, or it's not available to people because it wasn't set to public. So once this is uploaded, how to optimize your plumbing or HVAC website for conversion. Is that the one? No, that's 2017 version. So let's sort here. How to improve the conversion. Okay, so now I'm going to go make public. And I can take this audio file
All right, well, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today's webinar. We're talking about how to...
That's the content from my podcast. I mean, from my webinar. And believe it or not, people listen to these and they're like, I would think, they thought it's a webinar, right? So why are you putting your webinar up on a podcast? They like it, right? They were driving. They got to listen to the content. They enjoyed it. So I get compliments on these podcast episodes all the time. So I just paste my file there. So I've got that. I'm going to put my title. So just going to use this same title. That way there's some congruence here. So how to improve the conversion of your plumbing and HVAC website. Right. And then I need to set a featured image. So upload files, select. And then I've got an image for this. Let's see if I can find it. Marketing stuff, 2018 webinars, how to optimize for conversion. Boom, there's my social share graphic. So I'm not going to be able to finish that part right now just because there's a setting that blocks, for security purposes, image uploads. So I'll have to come back to that. But ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. I'm going to grab my video file, how to optimize your plumbing or HVAC website for conversion. Share, embed, copy this. Get that there. And then I've got some copy that I've already written about how to optimize for conversion, why it's important. And so I'll take that data, I'll take that information, I'll pop it in here as well. One of the best places for me to look is right inside my own, hey, look, you guys can see me actually broadcasting my broadcast on Facebook. So right now I'm just looking for the content that I already wrote about this webinar. so that I can pop it in there. Let's see. That's 3 examples. Website's the hub. Yeah, this is a good one. So all of the sales copy that I wrote to get people to the webinar actually apply to the page itself. So is your website built to win in today's market? Period. Watch this quick video. So I'm just going to skip that part. Nothing will have a bigger impact on the overall success or failure of your internet marketing strategy in your website than your website's ability to convert visitors into callers to the highest level possible. Let's face it, your website's the hub. Period. On this quick video, on this training video, I share how to maximize conversion in your plumbing or HVAC website, tweaks that can be made to double or triple your calls. And then instead of register now, I'm telling them, watch the video now, right? And then I'm going to put some type of call to action at the end, even though there's built-in calls to action. But usually what I do is just tell them to schedule a strategy session. So I want to pick my tags in here. And just to kind of show you guys how this is going to end up looking, how to improve the conversion of your plumbing or HVAC website, right? And then they can play the episode.
All right, well, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today's web.
They can watch the video.
All right, well, welcome, guys. Thank you.
The social share image will come up right here. I wasn't able to post it because I had that security lock that I need to get with my IT guy to remove. But that image would be up there. They'll scroll down. They'll see the video. They'll have the audio. And then I just need to have a call to action. So now what you've seen is we took our video file. We uploaded it to YouTube, right? We then took the YouTube file. We pasted it into our replay page. We sent an email blast to the database saying, hey, watch the replay. So tens of thousands of plumbing HVAC companies now know, hey, I can go back and watch this training. Then we took the audio from it. We exported it to an MP3. We loaded onto a media storage. We created a blog post, which is also a podcast. So now, a couple days from now, when you hit the podcast in iTunes, there's a new episode loaded up. So let's just look at it on iTunes. So like all of my webinars and any random things that I want to do get kind of pulled in right here from that PowerPresser. And there are people watching. So, or listening, I should say. Because if you look at the popularity of these episodes, look how popular it was. So this is not a wasted, exercise taking it and uploading it to iTunes. Lots of people discover content on iTunes. Lots of people discover content on YouTube. You saw before I even sent this out via broadcast, there were 12 people that already watched it, and I just uploaded it last night. No promotion. So there's people finding this content. And so my last step is to load my presentation onto SlideShare. So what I like to do is just take my presentation file, how to optimize for conversion, right? File, export to PDF. Next. Let me check and see that. So I'm just going to change this to how to optimize your plumbing website for conversion. And then I'll just throw 2018, right? So export. And then usually I just take my description that I had on YouTube and I'll match it up. So select files to upload, desktop, Oh, it's in downloads. There it is. So now I'm loading this into SlideShare so it gets shared. Oh, pop back over to YouTube. Description. Business. Conversion. How to optimize for how to market a plumbing business. How to optimize for conversion. Right, and so now this is up here on SlideShare. So I publish that, and usually I'll take this and embed it on my blog page too. So because the more content that you have on that blog content, the better. So I'll just take this embed, come back over to my post. So you can review the slides on this presentation here, right? And I'm going to go back in and clean this stuff up. It's just to give you guys the idea how we can fully leverage this stuff. So now this is starting to fill in a little bit. So I mean that's really all I do with SlideShare, just to get another place where that content is posted. So you see the 2018 plan, home services, right? And there's some stuff out there. So I've never looked at the stats on this. I'll be quite frank. There are 1,463 people that saw everything you need to know about Google Home Services, right? Random. It took me 2 seconds to load this up on SlideShare. I've got a link back from SlideShare. Of course, this links into my LinkedIn account, and there's some value in that. Let us see. Okay, so now we've got the SlideShare piece done. The next thing is we wanna post on our social profiles the fact that the replay is there. There's a bunch of social posts saying, hey, check it out. You want to be on this webinar. You want to be on this webinar. Now the webinar's passed, and we want to get people to consume the webinar, right? So I'm going to go to my business manager for my Plumber SEO account. And usually I just match this up pretty closely to my content from my email blast. So I'll usually post a couple posts again about the replay, but right here in Business Manager, I can just go quick follow up from yesterday's webinar: how to optimize your plumbing HVAC. The webinar was jam packed. Blah blah blah. Here's the replay. So you can either upload the replay directly into YouTube, into Facebook, which I'll do eventually. But really, I want them to go to my replay page, because the replay page drives them to, to schedule a strategy session. If they're just watching it on Facebook, they might just watch it and then not see the prompt to take action. So this is where that social share image comes into play. As long as you have it synced up in settings, it'll pull that in. So quick follow-up on yesterday's webinar: how to optimize your plumbing. The webinar was jam-packed, and maybe people couldn't get into the live event. Plus, plot countless messages. People, well, you're wishing my command. We've been working hard to get the replay posted. Here it is. Boom. So I'm going to post this in a couple places. I'm going to publish this on the Plumbing HVAC SEO page, and then I'm also going to put it in my Facebook group for plumbing and HVAC. I have a Facebook group called Plumbing and HVAC Marketing Mastermind. It's where we aggregate our clients and our prospects and the people that buy our info products. And so I have their attention as we post new stuff too. So you can just take that same message, drop it in here. Quick follow from yesterday's webinar. Post that. So now I'm going to have people drive straight here. They're going to be able to watch the replay. This is helping me create more views for the video, which of course makes the video more relevant which passes more authority to us as an organization. So you get the idea, right? I do also want to take this and post it on my LinkedIn. So I'm going to go to linkedin.com. There's Montina, fellow seven-figure agency member. Quick follow-up on yesterday's webinar, how to optimize your plumbing HVAC. So it automatically pulls my image in. I'm going to post that. And then we do have a company page. And I like to make sure I get it out there as well. So you can see I took all the promo that I did to get people there, and you can see it's in the feed. Quick reminder tomorrow too. And now I'm saying, hey, here's the replay. So it continues the conversation. And now we've created omnipresence for this webinar. The only thing I need to finish is this post, which is then going to reside on the Plumber SEO website. I'm going to fill it in. So I don't want you guys to sit here for another hour because I've already been going an hour. But it's going to have the social share image. It's going to have the YouTube video. I'm going to take the key bullets from the slides, put them in as content on the page, and then I will have a call to action at the end telling them exactly what to do next. That's how the content gets discovered, and of course it brings people into the top of the funnel. Because if you look at any of our blog posts, so let's just go to the blog. Actually, I'll show you. So we're doing a podcast. I'll show you a podcast first. So that's not what I was trying to do. All right, let me show you the blog, and I'll find one. 2018 Internet Marketing Plan. So this is the most recent one. So we got the social share image. We've got the podcast. This is what gets pulled into iTunes. We've got the description of the webinar. We've got the video, the download link for the book, some show notes, really like some additional filler. This was taken from the transcription and other things like that. The outline, additional resources, connect, and then really our call to action here is to go ahead and download our book or download our case study. So either of those two lead them into the funnel. Plus, we're pixeling them when they get to our site. So whether they opt in or not, we're capturing the name, we're capturing the email address, we're pixeling them so we can follow them around the internet and be completely omnipresent. So this was long. I think it went well. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback for any of you that watched this thing all the way through. But I want to go back to our slides. I want to go back and just kind of show you that we've come full circle on this. And this is really what I mean by fully syndicating the content, right? So we edited and exported it in ScreenFlow. We converted the video to an MP3 file. We uploaded it to YouTube. We uploaded it to SlideShare. We uploaded it to the podcast. We are going to send it off to Rev for transcription, and we set up the replay link. We sent the replay link via Infusionsoft to the entire database, and then we're going to set up a little mini ad campaign to retarget the people back. And then, of course, we did set up the blog post with the video and audio file so it can get picked up in iTunes. So that's full circle. This whole strategy is a game changer for you. If you're developing a list, you start to put out webinars, you promote it in an efficient way using email and social media, and then you syndicate that content the way I've showed you on this video, you will start to develop a following. You will start to be prolific and found everywhere in your space because you're constantly rolling out good, relevant information in the form of video, audio, and written word. So thanks for joining me on this video. Hopefully this was informative. I will talk to you guys again soon.